Back when we were talking about the changes in the food marketing system, we talked about the fact that over 80% of the US food dollar in 2014 went to some kind of value added service. In some way, they went to a value added process. How did we get that number? Well, we're getting that number off of the marketing bill. The marketing bill is the portion of food expenditures associated with activities beyond the farm gate. Basically, it's saying whenever a consumer spends, say, $1 at the grocery store, where does it go? How much of it goes to the farmer and rancher? And then how much of it goes to that food marketing system beyond the farmer or rancher? And the amount that goes to the food marketing system beyond that farmer or rancher, or the amount of proportion of food expenditures associated with activities beyond the farm gate. So whenever we talk about beyond the farm gate, we're talking about the processors, the wholesalers, the retailers, people of that nature. We're saying how much of every dollar do they get? What portion of the food expenditures do they get? Well, 2014, they got 83% of every dollar. So 83 cents of every dollar went to the marketing bill, went to that food marketing system beyond the farmer. That only leaves 17 cents to remain for the farmer on average. So who gets this 83 cents of every dollar? Well, the food processors, the wholesalers, the retailers, and those that are involved in the activities between these three areas. And then these food processors, wholesalers, retailers, how do they spend that 83 cents? Well, first and foremost, the large portion of that marketing bill goes to labor. You see, 40 cents of every dollar spent on food goes to labor after the farm gate. So those that are involved and are working in the food processing, the wholesaling, and the retailing, they account for 40% of every dollar, or 40 cents of every dollar goes to that labor after the farm gate. Then the next major cost are those that are packaging, transportation, advertising, and then energy are the next highest costs. So these are the next highest costs behind labor. So that's how these food processors, wholesalers, and retailers are spending this 83 cents of every dollar. And then also we can see that things might be changing. So as rising energy costs and convenient packaging comes more into play, we see that costs are increasing for those. So as we have those changes in the food marketing system, in the food marketing sector, where these time-starved consumers are wanting easy, quick, convenient packages, just throw it in the microwave and then warm it up, we're seeing that that's going to increase costs. So we might start seeing some changing in this order right here, but as of right now, that's the way it stands. And what is an impressive figure is that this 40 cents of every dollar is spent on labor after the farm gate. So we talked about this in the last video, saying that the rancher might only receive $1 per pound for their animals, but in the store, it's costing them $4 per pound. Well, that's coming into play because of this value-added process from the food processors, the wholesaler, and the retailers. And the marketing bill helps to show us what the difference from what the farmer gets and what you pay in the store. That's accounted for in the farm bill, but it comes about because of the value-added services added by those folks. Now, whenever we say that the marketing bill accounts for 83% of every dollar, and that basically implies that the farmer, on average, is getting 17 cents per dollar. Now, does this happen for every single farmer? Well, no, not every farmer gets 17 cents of every dollar. It varies based on commodity. Remember that this 17 cents and this 83 is the average across the whole entire food and fiber industry. So there are those that receive more of that share, and then there are those that receive less. So if we break it down across three different commodities, just as an example, we see that bacon, the price of retail is $4.39, but the farmer only receives 78 cents per pound. Their share is right around that 17%. almost 18%, meaning that they're receiving 17.8 cents of every dollar spent goes back to the farmer. What about on fat-free milk? If we look at milk, the retail value is $3.89. The value that the farmer receives is $1.25, meaning that they're receiving 32.1% or 32 cents out of every dollar. But if we look at bread and at the wheat producers, retail value of bread is right around $2.79. The farmers receive only 11 cents, which means a percentage of the share of the U.S. food dollar that goes back to the wheat producers out of every dollar that's spent on bread is only 3.9%. So we see that we have a lot of variation just across these three commodities. So we got to remember that this 83% is across the whole industry, but individual sectors might be receiving more or less.